Welcome back to the St. John Shipyards, fellow modelers. The 700 scale Battleship Hiei is complete. Had a good time with this kit. This is my first crack at a diorama involving a ship. I had some issues, but overall pretty good experience. I'm happy with the way everything turned out. The build was not much of a problem. A few finicky pieces, well, more than a few finicky pieces. A couple of pieces had to, had to do some, had to put the X-Acto knife to work a couple of times. Other than that, I mean, build was pretty easy, not for a beginner. It's a tough paint job. This is not easy detail painting. Real finicky. I really enjoyed this build. It was fun. It was a learning experience for me. Well, let's get into it. Well, we've talked about the kit itself enough. Let's talk about everything else. Yeah, a little bit of island here is a foam board. Two pieces glued together and stacked up. They were, I used this to rough up and put pock marks and make the island look as it does now. It was base coated in black, dry brushed brown, and tan. Used tan to highlight the rough edges. Then I super glued clump foliage to it for model railroading, and then sprinkled some leaves, on top of that. Glued them, thinned out some Elmer's glue, put that over the clump foliage, and then sprinkle the leaves on it. It looks pretty cool. We'll get a closer peek at that in a minute. This is the same green foam board, and initially I sprayed it Tamiya pearl blue, and it looked really cool because the pearl blue went on pretty thin for being a dark color. And some of the green was showing through in areas, and it gave it a look almost like, changing depth. It was pretty cool looking, but I wanted to black out the edges, so I taped up the top, painted the edges. When I took the tape off, it took the pearl blue paint off along all the edges. I was pretty pissed about that one. I didn't think that would happen. I used Tamiya tape, and it normally doesn't really happen with Tamiya tape, but so I had to respray it, and you still get some of the water effects, the changing depth, but not as much. I'm happy with the way it turns out. The foam board has a little bit of a texture to it, and some photos I took and put on Facebook kind of looks like a little bit of light wave action. Cool kit. I mean, fun build. I enjoyed doing this. I've been wanting to do a diorama like this for quite a while. I'm going to quit blabbing. Let's just take a closer look at this bad boy. The ship's wake was just white paint, kind of mashed on with a stiff brush. And in the back here, I use a little bit of lighter blue, where the water would be churned up. Those two float planes there was no room to put them on the ship because of the wings. So I just put them in the water because I have no other use for them. So maybe they're on a training mission or something. You can see right there where the tape took the paint off. And I ran out of paint. I couldn't get it any better than this. I really don't care. It's a little bit of this is practice. Get a shot at that island. That came out pretty cool. I wanted to take photos outside with natural sunlight, and everything looked a lot better, but it was too windy. This just kept wanting to blow away. I'm like, no, not today. I tried to work in a little bit of color wherever I could. A little bit of silver for the spotlight lens, and white and brown for the lifeboats, and so everything wouldn't just be tan and gray. Now the nameplate came with the kit, and it had a little brace in the back, you know, like a stand. So I cut that off, sanded it down, painted gold, and this was cut out from the instructions. This is what it's for, the name. But the paper was yellowed because the instructions are, or the instructions are old. So I busted out the red Sharpie and drew a half-assed rising sun on there, and that looks a lot better. It adds a spot of color to the blue. It pops against the blue background. But I'm happy with the way this turned out. It's far from, ain't gonna win me any contest, but I don't care. I do this for fun. And I thank you guys for tagging along. If you definitely appreciate that. I'm going to include a link in the description to a similar build, 700 scale Battleship Hiei, but it's unbelievably awesome. I mean, for the guys who work with photo etch brass and kits like this, man, they just, I wouldn't even want to attempt it. Just 350 I'll do, but 700, nah. Just not, I just don't have it in me to work with something that tedious. But hats off to the guys that do. Well, I'm going to shut my trap now and get this video uploaded. Thanks for tagging along. No idea what I'll be building next, but it's guaranteed to be something cool. And with that, that's one more off the bench, onto the shelf, and onward goes this styrene thing of ours. You guys have a good one, and I'll be back soon. Adios.